want your business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Franchise Connector Show with Tony Harris Taylor. I am Tony Harris Taylor, better known as the Networking Queen. I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I work with Zors to teach their Zs how to network so that they can turn their contacts into contracts. I also am a franchisee myself with Network in Action, where we bring business owners together to create connections, collaborations, community, get some coaching so we can make more cash together. I'm also a founder of the Multicultural Franchise Connectors, an organization dedicated to helping more people of color and women come into franchising. And lastly, I'm a franchise consultant with Drastic Franchise Matchmakers, where I am matching families to their right fit franchise. Welcome to today's show. Today, we're going to talk all about the numbers, the thing that most entrepreneurs, franchise or not, love to hate. I know I do. I'm just not into the numbers, right? But the numbers tell a story. Often the reason why we're not into the numbers, because we don't want to see the story. But if you don't know your numbers, then how can you know where you need to focus your energy, where you need to get better, and really to know if your business is at risk or not? So I personally have hired a CFO to help me to interpret the numbers, keep me on track with my numbers. And here's another secret that most entrepreneurs don't get until it's too late. The only way to get money is to know your numbers and to have your reports in place. You got to have your balance sheet, your profit and loss. And listen, your job, if numbers aren't your thing and you're not going to do your own bookkeeping, fine. I get it. Go make more money so that you can hire my guest to do your numbers for you. So my guest is Miss Natalya Hummer. And she's so sweet, and she's from Russia, and she has the cutest accent. I met her at the Charlotte Expo, and since then we've been on calls like this at least 6 times now from 2 months ago. That's how connected we were. And I just love what she does. She does it especially for franchise brands. And listen, if your franchisees don't have their numbers, you can't even do your audits every year. Ask me how I know. Because my franchisor is always hollering about, y'all get me your numbers, get me your numbers. And that's because they're not tracking their numbers. So we'll be right back with my guest, Natalya Hummer, where we're going to talk all about the numbers. All right, we are back with my guest, Natalya Hummer. She's the founder of Finatech Accountants and Advisors. Welcome.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
So, in your own words, I've set you up, but in your own words, who are you and what do you do?
I'm a certified public accountant, and a lot of people have a misconception that certified public accountants are doing taxes. But I'm a different type of a certified public accountant. I'm the founder of a company where we specialize in providing bookkeeping and a higher level accounting services, fractional CFO services, predominantly to multi-unit franchise owners.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How'd you get into the franchise space?
So there was a story. I have been in corporate finance for more than 20 years in corporate world. In the last 10 years, while I was there, was mostly senior management and executive positions. And then just before COVID, my husband decided that he was kind of itching to start something new. He was in the hospitality business, and he is a kind of guy who notices everything. So he thought that he wanted to open a restaurant. And I was kind of sucked into his journey because he first applied for a Chick-fil-A franchise, and you know how difficult it is to get there. But he went all the way to Georgia, to Atlanta, Georgia, to their headquarters. And he was in that last round pick and didn't make it.
Oh,
but
wow.
that really fired him up. And you have to go through almost like getting a federal job. You have to go through a lot of interviews and what they call references, and they even had to check me. And I was intrigued by the whole process, but didn't think a lot of it. But then when he didn't get it, I was there to support him, and he was fired up to start another franchise. And after a couple of months of looking for and researching and talking to friends, he ended up on picking Crumbl Cookies, which was just starting up. They were on the rise a couple of years ago. And that led us into the whirlwind of the franchise world. And I left my corporate job, and here I am 4 years later.
So you're a Crumbl Cookie franchisee.
Yes.
But how did that turn to accounting for franchises?
Well, naturally, when we started our own business, actually, I was still working as a CFO of an Inc. 5000 company at the time, and it was very intense. The 6 months, I had this overlap of where we had our first store, and it was incredibly busy. And they needed my expertise on HR and accounting, sometimes just even making cookies. So I had to learn how to do it all in the store and tinker with scheduling and inventory ordering, and just kind of had to learn all of it on the fly, the practical things of it. But during daytime, that was evenings and weekends. And during daytime, I still was a CFO, and we were going through ERP conversions and mergers and acquisitions. So after about 4 months of doing both, I decided that, I have to pick either or. I cannot do both. And I chose our business, working for ourselves. And the word kind of spread. So of course I was doing my accounting, and then because our store was, for example, the first store in the entire state of Pennsylvania. So a lot of other franchise owners came to our stores to train with us. And this is how they learned that I am of my background, and they asked me to be there to do accounting for them. And it's just the word of mouth, networking. It really is. And I haven't advertised anything. I don't really do a lot of, just recently I started to go to Expo because I'm spreading my wings now and I'm ready for other concepts. But it really now, the last 3 years, it was really through word of mouth, somebody referring me. And because it's mostly multi-unit franchise owners who is our predominant client base. And once they get a taste of it, they start opening other franchises. So I kind of took this journey together with my clients, where they started opening other concepts like Paris Baguettes, like Jim's, like Dave's Hot Chicken, and I'm kind of along for the ride, and it's an incredible journey. Now I'm a subject matter expert in QSR franchising.
Wow. Well, I love that. That reminds me, I have someone I need to connect you to. So when we're done, remind me to do that. And so you just took, just through conversation, talking to other franchisees, and now you're like, wait, this is a whole niche, which
Yes.
is part of the multicultural franchising, because multicultural franchise is about helping women to supply their services to the franchise industry. And the accounting for franchises is different than it is for traditional, because I understand there's audits every year, right? For the franchisor, there's audits that the franchisees, they have to send in their numbers. And if they don't have their numbers organized, then they cause a problem for the franchisor. So it behooves the franchisor to bring in a Natalya and Finatech so that everything is succinct across the line. Say more about that.
Yes, typically franchisors, they depending on the concept, they can endorse, but they cannot insist.
Yeah.
Yes, they cannot force you to use it like a lawyer, right? So it's the same with an accountant, it's a professional. And they can just recommend, and the way they recommend it, they want to know that the numbers are going to be clean, that they're going to be submitted on time, and most importantly that the franchisees get their education, because most of the time we're talking, I communicate with my clients on a monthly basis, sometimes on a weekly basis, and half the time we're not even talking about numbers, we're talking about how to better schedule, because at the end of the day, it's all ending up in your bottom line, how
Correct.
you run your business.
Correct.
And because I'm in the same business and I can relate to every single, or pretty much not maybe every single, for example, we don't have drivers, so I don't know how to solve a particular driver's problem. But for most of the part, I face the same issues with inventory, with people, with HR. And because we are serving clients in many states, I became, by necessity, a subject matter expert in the, I'm not sure I'm certified, but I know enough about HR to recommend, or to at least refer to a specialist if the case is too difficult for me.
Okay. So, and then you have a whole team that works behind the scenes with the numbers, correct?
Yes. So I started this, my first client was a friend. Well, they became friends because they came to our store to learn the Crumbl business. And I believe I started with them in January 2021. Then they now have 5 stores. And they recommended me, and then whoever recommended them, it's kind of like a snowball, right? So
Sure.
it worked.
Absolutely.
And when I started with them, it was just me, and I was doing this part-time because, it's just one store. We only had one store at a time, and I was still CFO at a time. So I was doing it in the evenings and weekends. And then it became more like I transitioned to my basement. It was during COVID time. And now we have 12 full-time people.
Wow.
We grew in the last 3.5 years.
Wow. That's amazing, Natalya. And I met you at the Charlotte Expo. You had 2 of your employees with you there, all from word of mouth. Yes. So when we come back, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, I want to talk about, why do you think entrepreneurs don't like the numbers so much? So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back with Natalya Hummer of Finatech.
Another government job or your own business. Decisions. Jobs are no longer secure. This is the reason you should consider your own business. Start from scratch? Risky. Franchising gives you a business with a blueprint, and 8 out of 10 are successful. Plus, 63% aren't food businesses. Some are even home-based. Options are power. Download your free guide and see if franchising is your next move.
Are you a corporate renegade? That is someone who is frustrated with the rat race of corporate, or maybe you were recently laid off of your job. Or perhaps you're an entrepreneur looking for your next stream of income. Hi, my name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I want to invite you to have a conversation with me about how franchising, becoming a franchise owner, can take your life and business to the next level. It did for me. I purchased my franchise in 2019, turned around my primary business, and now I want to help others to do the same. Hop on my calendar and let's chat about how franchising can take your life and your business to the next level. Talk to you soon. We'll get back with my guest, Natalya Hummer. And before we left, I wanted to ask the question, why do you think entrepreneurs, which includes franchisees, why they don't like the numbers?
I have met two types of business owners, and a smaller type of them actually loves the numbers. And let me talk to you about that group first.
Okay.
It's no brainer for them when they hear about my story and how I came to Finatech that, oh, we have to get your services, because they understand the value that comes with it. And so typically those are owners who are mostly investors and they let others run their businesses, or they came from a corporate world and they have held some senior VP positions or senior management positions, and they understand acronyms like EBITDA, like gross profit margins, like those terms don't scare them, and they understand what current ratio is because they have been in that world, and they understand this is how businesses run. So we speak the same language, and we connect almost immediately with that particular type of owners. Now, majority of owners, they have not been exposed to corporate finance. They don't really know the acronyms, and I think it's mostly an intimidating story, and there is no real they need somebody to tell a story in a comprehensive way, like so they can understand what it means. What is this number and why is this important? So I believe that accounting or bookkeeping, traditional bookkeeping, is very dry. It provides you with your report. Here you are, and there's no explanation, no story behind it. And this is how we are different. We are, first and foremost, we educate why gross profit margin, for example, matters for anyone, pretty much for any retail business, because this is how you make money. What is a variable, what is fixed? And once you start, maybe I like to use very common comparisons, like owning your house. What's in your house, right? And then people get it. And I believe because they don't have that education behind it. And secondly, like you said, they're fearing that they're not going to like the story. So it's a little bit of, if I, cat in box, right? If I don't, don't, then there's no problem.
Right. If I don't see it, there's no problem. Correct. Exactly. And the numbers tell you where the problems are, but it's better to get ahead of that than to wait till everything falls apart. And working with someone on a monthly basis to look at your numbers, I think is key with that. Well, I'm going to ask you another question that I ask all my guests, but you already have answered it. And that is, how has networking helped you grow your businesses?
Well, right now it's all about networking. I am like, just today I went through a women's business club in the local social club, and it's been amazing because you really get to know people, and there is an almost built-in trustworthiness and trust building because you belong to the same group, club, chamber of commerce, whatever, and you have breakfast together, you have coffee together, you just talk about, it doesn't have to be all about business, you talk about personal life and weather and what's happening and events, and just connect, just pure human connection that will get you far. And most of my business, like I said, has been through word of mouth. I only recently started to go to expos, and then I realized how small, well, relatively small the export world is. And I even going from one expo to another, you see a lot of the same franchise stores and the same companies. And so you become friends there too. And this is another way, at least in our business, how we can get more business through networking.
Well, that's how we met.
Yes. Yes.
Booked an appointment on the spot, and
Yes.
you had me speak for Crumbl.
Yes.
And I'm grateful to you for that. Thank you very much. And you had me go to the store and buy my first Crumbl cookie. I'm not sure how grateful I am for that, because I bought the 6-pack when I could have bought the 3. But I wanted to make sure that I understood the brand very well when I spoke for them. So thank you for introducing me to the Crumbl Cookie store. Tell us a little bit about your Crumbl store, and where is it, and where can people come visit it?
Well, we opened our first stores in the city of Philadelphia. It was during COVID. So long story short, Virginia and Maryland and DC, this is where we live, were closed. They were not even talking. So we took whatever area was open at the time, and this is where we have our 2 stores near Philadelphia. And then our 3rd store, we only opened it in February of this year. It's in Pentagon City, near the National Airport, right there near Pentagon. I mean, the name explains it. Near the Amazon headquarters, the new Amazon headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. That's where we are.
Okay.
And we just got a word. So my husband and I were actually expanding. We got into another concept. It's called Pure Green, and we are actually under 2 LOIs. LOI is letter of intent. It's the first step into negotiating the lease. So we are under 2 LOIs for other 2 stores.
And what does Pure Green do? I hear a conflict here. But go ahead.
It's an opposite, right? So it's hedging the bets. It's hedging the bets. It's a portfolio. You're building a portfolio of businesses. So Crumbl is about dessert, and Pure Green is about health. It's acai bowls, cold pressed juices, and health sandwiches.
Okay.
And smoothies. Their smoothies are unbelievable. It's the best I've ever tried.
Okay. Okay. I thought I sensed a conflict there, but I like you. You said hedge your bets. So you're going to reach the people who are more healthy, and you're going to reach the Tony Harris Taylors of the world. Okay. Well, Natalya, you've been a dream to get to know in the last 2 months, and I know this is just the beginning of us together. Would you tell everybody how to get in contact with you?
Yes, I have posted this probably on your podcast, but you can email me at info@finatechcpa.com. Our phone number is 703-248-0400. I've also left my LinkedIn profile. It's a bit too long to say, but it's right there in the notes. And our website, finatechcpa.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Franchisors, franchisees, if you need a CPA to run your numbers that tell the story, reach out to Natalya. And she's awesome. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with my final thoughts.
I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
If you think franchising isn't for you, think again. Here's how Multicultural Franchise Connectors is changing the game. At Multicultural Franchise Connectors, we believe in the power of diversity to transform the franchising industry. Our mission? To empower underserved multicultural communities with the knowledge, resources, and connections they need to confidently explore franchising opportunities. Did you know that less than 15% of franchisees are minority-owned? But we're not stopping there. MFC's 4 Paths guide successful business owners in franchising their operations, help potential franchisees interested in purchasing franchise businesses, support business owners to supply their services to franchises, or assist individuals to secure employment opportunities within franchise corporate offices. MFC is designed to break down barriers and open doors. Through comprehensive workshops, mentorship programs, networking events, and expert consultations, we're paving pathways to economic empowerment and community growth. And come 2027, we'll be offering grants to help you secure the financial support you need. Join us today and become part of a thriving multicultural franchise community. Visit multiculturalfranchise.org for more information. Empower your future. Empower your community. Together, we're making franchising dreams a reality.
Welcome back. So if you are interested in learning more about MFC or learning more about franchising in general, go to my website, drasticfranchise.com. Download your free ebook, drasticfranchise.com, and join our community at school.com/MFC. Listen, your numbers tell a story. Even if it's a story you don't want to hear, you need to do your numbers. You're not truly a business owner. I'm going to tell you, I did not really feel like a business owner until I got consistent with my profit and loss and my balance sheet from month to month. Then I really knew I was a business owner. And if you think you want to get money, you can't get money without it. So you might as well start now. Reach out to Natalya to help you with your numbers. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this channel and tell your friends to check us out. We'll see you next week.